I believe we're in here. Teams are going to be a little mixed for us, so apologize if we get those incorrect. But Seattle Sloths versus Minnesota Floppr Scar Hardpoint Gold South-ish, I think is what this division is. Championship game, best of 7 series. Here we go.
Yeah, we're starting off here. Seattle Sloths spawning on the blue side are already looking to flip over towards green and to keep that green side for those P2 spawns. Looks like Chernobyl's making the play through White Wall, able to get onto time, and the Sloths here are doing a good job of trying to flip back potentially. There is a gunfight going down towards door, but that's not going to go to their side. So we're here pretty close setup here so far on P1, but ultimately at 15 seconds, we're going to have to start making our way over towards that P2 side, which can definitely be a money hill on the Scar.
Yeah, and I mean, both of these teams, obviously, we are both familiar. For the people out there, we have, I think, a couple key players on both sides that we're looking at. The Minnesota Floppr side, KP, Frosty, Accent, and Zoe, looking to pack a punch a little bit this game. Honestly, I don't think Accent's played at all this season. I think he's just kind of on the roster for a backup there, but I guess they're thinking they need a little bit extra firepower here going against Chernobyl, Banishable, Keg, and Noble. And honestly, CK, I think I know, but who are your players to look out for in this series?
Well, that can really depend map to map. I mean, Noble, the little crackhead from the West Coast, is definitely a player that I'll have my eyes on running that submachine gun for the side of the Seattle Sloths. Definitely has the potential to pop off. And then you have Keg, the absolute iron hold heady master AR that may drop 5, but he may also drop 60 on your dome. So those are two players that I'd keep my eye out for on the side of Seattle Sloths. Not to say anything bad about Banish or Chernobyl. And then I think the X factor, like you said, for this Minnesota Floppr team will be Accent and how he slots in with this roster. Zoe has been in the CRL as long as I've been in the CRL, I think, and longer if so, but we've played against Zoe a lot. So I know he's consistent. He brings something to the table, and he's got his long-term duo KP with him as well. So both those two guys are two players that I'd watch out for as well.
Yeah, I mean, KP famously loves to do a little bit of sipping during some CRL matches. So if he's starting off slow, he might just need to start a little faster, if you know what I'm saying. So far, Minnesota Floppr have been kind of in control so far. They had a good P1. P2 is kind of mixy back and forth so far. This is going kind of the side of Minnesota Floppr on this one, but the rotations are heading towards the side of Seattle Sloths. So far, Keg and Banish are the ones who are leading the side for Seattle, and Zoe leading the side for Minnesota. And honestly, you know, I've talked with Zoe a little bit earlier this season and played with him a couple 8 series, and he's just not feeling very confident about this game. I don't know if that's changed throughout the season. I don't know if he's feeling any better, but a lot of comments about just he feels like he's not playing super well, not very good, but could be a little bit of humble pie there, but looks like he's doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, he's definitely doing good so far, and the Seattle Sloths are able to break into this P4 here now. There is still Zoe in the back, so he's going to be kind of ratting here a little bit. One player is going to end up spawning with him as well, so that's going to help their attempt to break here from the backside. One player left in time, one more player in the back fences is going to get that kill onto Zoe, but Accent is hunting for him. He's going to rip KP in the noggin for a couple of shots there before he ends up getting killed by Banishable there. But we ultimately know with 15 seconds left here, we got to look at this rotation over towards P5, and the Minnesota Floppr are already here, but contest is going to be coming down top green by the Seattle Sloths. So one kill goes down, one player left all the way in depths looking to rat here. It seems like Keg may have an idea that somebody's behind him, but they are going to potentially leave him here, and Churn is not going to know. Oh, he is going to know now, going to get the shots in, but Zoe's going to win that fight, but going to get immediately traded out. So that's going to be potentially the back spawns secured for the side of the Seattle Sloths, but KP is still top green, looking for some more kills onto these players on the hardpoint time.
Yeah, and it's, you know, Scar, we've been seeing these kind of split spawns. We see some players spawning plane behind them. Minnesota Floppr are going to have those back spawns now as we kind of have a little bit of mixy. Keg able to pick up 2 towards that plane side as we start to see this lead expand a little bit for the side of Minnesota Floppr. Still pretty close, about 20-point lead here. P5's been mixy so far. No team's been able to get a bunch of kills. Zoe with 2 of his own. Make that Accent, actually. It's not Zoe. Kill feed's messed up. Oh well, it's going to happen. About 10 seconds left here on P5 as we start this rotation towards noon. So far, it's been pretty close. Honestly, there's not really much from each team. Both teams are going to be able to break anything. Both teams are going to be able to hold anything. I think it's just who can play the fundamentals the best. Chernobyl's really going to be, honestly, the one we've seen so far. Just not been playing a lot this game. So if he's able to play good and get towards that kind of even stat line, the side of Seattle Sloths are going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, and I mean, with the first rotation of hills there, 20-point deficit, not super large, definitely able to come back here on the Scar. There are a lot of chainable hills on this map where you're able to go from the P2s into the P3s, and I think the Minnesota Floppr did an excellent job of rotating there on our first set, and we'll see if the Seattle Sloths do a better job at rotating this time, and Noble with a nice two-piece in the P1 hill is able to keep the Minnesota Floppr off the time, and we're already making our way here towards the P2 side. There is quite a bit of a contest going down with 3 players from the Minnesota Floppr there. Chernobyl putting shots into pretty much everybody, but is ultimately going to get shot in the side from that mid-cut. Keg is going to have a battle here in front of him with most of the Minnesota Floppr team here looking to start off P2 in their favor.
This dude has been in the spawn shooting his M15. I think he's out of ammo. I think he's just running with the Jaegers. That's all he's got. Zoe able to make a good flank there on P2. Eventually going to fall from the hands of Banishable. Chernobyl with a good pinch as well. But Frosty going to be the last alive here on this time as the side of Seattle or Minnesota Floppr looking to expand or get some time here. Minnesota Floppr were able to take a good majority of that P1. Eventually take a little bit of that lead. P2 still mixy here. Last kill going to go towards the side of Chernobyl there in the Seattle Sloths, looking to extend their lead on this P2 as we start to see a little bit of a rotation here. Frosty going to try to take the rest of this time, but Noble's here to support. Able to pick up one, not able to pick up that second percent. Going to take that last 15 on time as rotations start to hit towards plane side. We do see Zoe already rotated towards that boat side, looking to get blue spawns. See, been an interesting timing there, and unfortunately for the side of Seattle Sloths, not going to work their way. Zoe able to pick up the kill, kind of secure that side of the map for his team, but blue spawns are still rolling in for the side of Seattle Sloths. They're going to want to keep this for P4, but you do not want to let a lot of time go off hard in this. Go off here on this P3.
Yeah, and P3 can be such a difficult hill to break from either side. The plane heady is pretty gross. If you've never gotten into a gunfight on either side of the plane heady, we see lots of flanks come through, trying to poke and prod your way through until you can inevitably potentially get a couple of kills and break it. But the Minnesota Floppr here doing a great job starting off with the first 30 seconds here of time, and they're looking to get a little aggressive here as well towards the boat side. KP with one, looking to slide chow the second player here, boat, and is going to get that kill. Keg is rotating back through white wall, so he is going to be the player that needs to pick up this kill on KP military truck, but he is going to get flanked from mid-cut as well. So now Minnesota Floppr feeling great about securing a huge chunk of time there and getting the rotation early over towards the P4 side. So starting off here pretty good so far in our second rotation.
Yeah, and they had rotations, I believe, the P4 last time. I think it was able to be kind of a little bit mixy there just with spawns, but now they're a little bit more set up. Decent, solid spawns are coming in. Zoe's going to get spotted towards the back. There's a player towards the radar here. Keg able to pick up a big kill there. Looking to get into time. Can't quite find the kill. Zoe and Frosty, I believe, are able to pick up for 2. Noble able to find one in the hill, but nothing else. Side of Seattle Sloths are going to have to regroup here. Get through this P1 side. Both players are going to fall towards front. Side of Minnesota Floppr so far so good on this P4. About 30 seconds in, securing all the time.
Yeah, and we got Churn here going on a flank in the back. Frosty is going to be here on the other side of the fence, and they're going to bounce right over each other, but Chernobyl is going to get taken out. Looks like the contest is coming down from the front side of hill. 2 players left. That's going to be the Seattle Sloths that end up winning that fight, but that is going to spawn the Minnesota Floppr over towards the green side. Chernobyl here jumping up towards top church is going to get gunned by Frosty. KP in the kill feed. They're pretty fast, but there are players swarming all over this green side. Looks like we see somebody trying to hunt for somebody in depths. Looks like Zoe is going to get the sights onto that player, but Noble is going to win that gunfight with the Dravik, and that is going to potentially secure the back spawns for the Seattle Sloth. There is quite a bit of gunfire still coming down towards the front side of this hill. Looks like that player is able to slide in and get that kill as well, and now we're looking to fight from the back side if you're the Seattle Sloths, and from the front side if you're the Minnesota Floppr.
Yeah, the last time we saw this P5, it was super mixy. Teams weren't able to really get a lot of kills down. So far, it looks like Minnesota Floppr are going to take some control. Spawns coming in the back for Seattle Sloths, so they're going to be a little bit closer. We do see the split spawns starting to develop here as those back spawns are getting blocked off Noble, kind of last hope there, not able to pick up anything as Minnesota Floppr looking to extend their lead. They can get out to 245 here on this one as Seattle Sloths are still at that 194 mark or so. So it's going to be a little tough here, but you can definitely hold P1 and P2 win this game here. Looking to get about 235 here as they start to get this rotation towards P1. They're not set up just yet. They all have to funnel through mid-cut. Banish not able to pick up any on his side. Chernobyl losing the fight on hill as well. Keg picks up one before he falls. Noble kind of last player alive towards the front, but is going to fall here. 8 for the win for Minnesota.
Yeah, Contest is going to need to come down here pretty fast. Big kills coming down. That's 3 in the feed for the side of the Seattle Sloths, able to break in here. They know that this team should be funneling from the mid-cut side. Frosty's going to choose to go on the pinch. It looks like one player did spawn out blue as well. White wall pinch comes down. 1 kill comes for Frosty. 2 kills for Frosty. Shots into the third, but not able to get anything done there. And now, with 20 seconds left here on the clock, the Seattle Sloths have to continue to keep the pressure off of this P1 while maintaining the presence towards P2, but unfortunately the swarm comes in from the Minnesota Floppr, able to close it out there on P1 for the map number 1 victory.
Yeah, I mean, just honestly, it's going to be those P4 rotations. Minnesota were just able to lock them down, get the most amount of time there. Still close game towards the end, but I think that's really going to make that difference is those key rotations. On Scar, typically it's P2 and P4 that's going to win you or lose you the game, and Minnesota Floppr just seem to be on top one.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if we see a boomstick from either of these two squads. Like you said, we haven't seen a lot of them playing Search and Destroy. What kind of strats are there? Looks like Frosty does have that snipe out, but he's going to get gunned by Keg and probably some team shots coming in there as well. That Tennessee internet goes crazy. The fiber out there is nuts. Ixen's able to get a trade back on that bomb planter there on Noble. Keg still posted up on the heady. Churn playing close towards the 10 side is going to pick up the bomb, and I think Ixen saw him, but potentially tweaking, and he is going to see defeat this time. Bomb's going to come down, and Churn's able to get out with his life. Keg there for the reinforcement as well. Shots coming in. Banish gets a kill towards mid as well, and that's going to leave KP up into a 1v3, and he's already dead. So unfortunate for him, but you got to think if Ixen commits on he saw somebody's sights, he might have been able to get that second bomb pressure there as well, and the bomb doesn't go down. They don't have to push up, but ultimately you get the first blood. If you're the Seattle Sloths, you absolutely rip the sniper out of the hands of Frosty there, and you play the man advantage, you're probably going to win in Search and Destroy, and they did just that.
I don't know if you saw that, but I think it's pretty impressive. Keg had 3 kills and 300 damage. Didn't do a single lick of damage. Frosty, put the boomstick away. Keg's gonna beam you, brother. But I know that the side of Minnesota Floppr probably didn't do their homework, because if there's somebody on a heady whose name is Keg, I probably wouldn't chow him personally.
No.
I would, because I'm a psychopath, but most people I probably would. Like, just a warning out there for people if you ever play Keg.
Yeah, well, it's Churn that starts off this round with a nice 2-piece, leaving their team up in a 4v2 advantage. Banish playing inside of this red room is going to get the intel that someone is still over here from the Floppr side. He's going to send Noble in on the pinch, able to get one. Noble not going to know that Frosty's behind him, going to get taken out with a pistol. That's going to give Frosty now the Dravik and the boomstick in his back pocket, and it looks like we've got a little bit of a split here. Keg playing towards the middle of the map, trying to watch the cross that side, and we've got 2 players, Chernobyl and Banish, on the red side. You're going to try to shoulder with a sniper, but Chernobyl's going to see you first, going to take you out, able to get 3 kills on the round as well, so he's doing his best Keg impression, trading blows back and forth with those 3 pieces from their squad to put them up 2-0 here in map number 2.
He's in on a heady. It's like the Keg protege. It's like how people talk about people being Formal's descendants. I'd be afraid to play a hardpoint against Keg's descendants. Every single head glitch, there's somebody there. You're playing a 20v2. You know what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
I don't know. Frosty didn't have very much success there on the boomstick round number 1. Looking to go right back to the Dravik. I don't know how they're playing with lives or whatever they're doing here. KP, able to pick up that first kill towards middle. They were investing 2 players there. We do have someone on the flank there in Banish playing on an island. We'll see if he can pick anything up. I believe there's someone top window. We are going to see kind of this rotate towards back from Zoe. Able to spot Banish. Shots being exchanged there. 1 player still in the middle. Banish going to be activated here. See if he can pick up KP as he's able to. Good awareness there from the side of Banish. And the Seattle Sloths just being able to communicate and do things properly as a team. Noble with the bomb. Going to be trying to rotate this towards the A side as the side of Minnesota Floppr backed up to Dojo, pretty much giving up the entire site.
Yeah, they've given up the other site. Banish is going to try to get a little aggressive there to hunt for the kill. Dojo. Noble is going to choose to wrap this out. Keg has a battle here in front of him, taking shots into that first player. Dojo is going to get taken out. That's going to leave Noble in a 1v3 here. Zoe is coming close. Looks like he's potentially going to get the kill, but Noble is able to slide out, but the teammates are there to pick up the straggler after he gets that bomb planted. So that's going to be Minnesota Floppr able to get their first round on the board. And you know, you start off with the first blood from KP there. Seattle Sloths start to play a little bit slower. We see maybe some mistakes coming through when you're trying to get a little too aggressive and you end up running into the sights of another player there from the side of Seattle Sloths. So Minnesota Floppr playing a good round of search and destroy there on the defense, looking to potentially try to see what they can do on the offensive side now to even us back up the 2-2.
Yeah, Minnesota Floppr, I think, did a good job just adjusting their investing multiple players towards mid, able to get that early pick and just able to convert that into good success here in round number 3. Taking their time towards B, looking like this is where they're going to make their investment. Side of Seattle Sloths are looking to put a little bit of pressure here. Keg, great shots onto Zoe. Frosty able to finally put that boomstick to use here. But, I mean, you're just getting an idea here of why you don't want to count. Like, this dude's chowing a sniper on a head glitch. What the hell are we doing?
He's got the ego. He knows he's got a shot and he's gonna use it whenever he sees fit. And you know, the reaction time from the sniper has gotta be pretty good whenever you get those first initial shots ripped into you from the M15. So Keg's not afraid to chow anybody, and he may die and he may rip you. That's just the the thing that you're gonna have to live with here. Both teams slowing down a little bit here now in the 3v3, but the Flopper still playing aggressively towards this B side. Keg's going for the chow. Team shots come in. Another player tries to swing Dojo. That's Frosty. Kill's not going to come through yet, but he is going to win the fight onto Keg. They know this other player's middle, going to take him out as well, so that's going to leave Banish here in a 1v2. Player jumps across, that's KP. Shots go in, but no kill confirmed. Banish looking to reach out now again. Going to see one player going to get shots into both players weak, but good baits there from the side of Floppr, able to, you know, essentially slow down a little bit, kind of push a little bit farther across the map, and ultimately, once you take out that player Dojo, you start to be able to kind of focus your efforts towards the middle of the map, and that's where they found Noble and Banish at. So they were able to take out those two players after Keg comes down from the Dojo side. So, you know, good bounce backs here from the side of Floppr. 2 in a row always feels good. And if you're the side of Seattle Sloths, now's your chance to kind of stop the hurting a little bit here and take map round number 5.
Yeah, back to back, you know, 2-2 rounds for both teams here. The adjustment's going to be a little bit over towards this A side. I believe Zoe is the lone defender here. We do have a player towards mid. Zoe's going to give up side. I don't know if he felt some pressure there or saw anything, but he's just currently throwing some shoulders. A couple players are going to get spotted out there. They know that bomb heading towards A at this point. Frosty able to pick up Keg on that B fight. Man advantage going to be going towards the side of Minnesota Floppr. Double chow coming in. Banish able to put some shots into Zoe, but not able to convert on a kill there. 2 players left here. Seattle Sloths looking to convert a 2v4, make this a 2v3. Chernobyl able to pick up one. Noble playing towards that bomb site as well. We do see the flank, and it looks like they're trying to read this here. Do spot that player out red, making it even 2v2. There's a player on the flank. Frosty able to pick up one. Chernobyl able to pick up the third here. This would be the ace for Chernobyl in a 2v4. Shots are maybe not going to ring out. Don't know if he saw him towards that outside here. We are going to see a flank from Zoe as he's able to finally pick that up. And man, that could have been special for Seattle.
That would have been a spectacular round for the side of Seattle Sloths, looking to clutch up that 2v4, and timing just doesn't quite go Chernobyl's way. He makes the good play to rotate out of that site with the AR. Not maybe he doesn't even know that we got a submachine gun going against him, but he rotates back out, gets that inner heady. That can be good, but he didn't have the info on where Zoe was at. So he's kind of checking everywhere. He maybe makes a decision to go somewhere and then decides to come back, and that just gives Zoe the timing to sneak right up from behind and to take him out there. So excellent round from the side of Minnesota Floppr. It got kind of hairy there after we saw those first 3 players come down, but the ice is there for their squad, able to clutch up there and take the lead here 3-2, and the aggression is coming right through into red early. Noble is not ready Banishable able to get one trade onto Accent there. Keg gets a kill towards the middle of the map as well, I believe. So now we're in a 2v3 scenario going the other way, but the bomb has rotated all the way out. They're looking to go towards white. We're going to see if Seattle reads this play sooner or if they choose to play the retake here.
Yeah, honestly, you have the man advantage. You lost Noble there just with the aggressiveness of Floppr. Not really able to expect that once you see the fight coming through here. Seattle Sloths are still just maintaining to stay towards this A site. And honestly, from here, we see a couple, player gets spotted towards mid, so they know they're going to start rotating over towards this A site. And Bomb is pushed up with 30 seconds left. Zoe has put himself in a good spot here to, I think, take a pick. But Keg is just doing Keg things and sitting all the way back here. Able to pick up Zoe. Bomb down. Unfortunate for the side of KP. He's going to have to make a tough 1v3 here with 2 players on one side of the map. One on the other. Is able to pick up Banish. Knows Keg is going to be back patio there. Able to spot him, but not able to pick anything up. Seattle Sloths finally responds, stopping that 3-round streak from the side of Floppr, evening this back up.
Yeah, and I mean, they did a great job playing their patience there. We saw, I believe it was Banishable in the middle of the map looking for info, and KP takes those initial shots at him from hop up, and that kind of gives you the idea that something's going on. And then Keg, doing like you said, Keg things, hanging out back patio, decides to kind of push a little bit and catches some good timing onto Zoe there, looking to potentially make a play and try to sniff somebody out in the back that was trying to rotate over. Didn't play in your favor, but you got to try interesting things in search and destroy sometimes in order to kind of shift up what's going on with the map. And looks like if we're the Seattle Sloth here, we're making our way right towards this A site. Zoe's going to get the info, make it out with half HP, but now Red is going to be in the control of the Seattle Sloth. Keg's looking to chow, of course, able to get the shots in there. We see one player watching the pinch as well. Bomb gets planted. 4v4 retake. As soon as I say that, the first blood goes to the side of the Minnesota Floppr. We see a team kill come down. That's going to leave us in a 2v2. Keg picks up the pinch. One player left in red, swarmed by both players from the Seattle Sloths. So great round there out of the Seattle Sloths to take the position as soon as they were able to get Zoe to back off from that red room site, and then able just to play defensive around the bomb to stop the retake from coming through from the side of the Minnesota Floppr.
Yeah, and Floppr, we see that unfortunate team kill there, but, honestly, Chernobyl's, he puts enough damage in there to kill them both, honestly, and just is going to get away with that from the side of Floppr, just kind of making that small little desync mistake there. But, I mean, Floppr almost had it there. They read the guy on the watching the pinch, had the man advantage, and just really couldn't convert there. And honestly, a lot of these rounds, they're going to come down to this. Can you convert this situation that may be a 50-50 sometimes? Like, it's going to be tough from both teams here. Frosty and Keg are so close to seeing each other here. First blood going to go the way of Banishable once again on KP. It has been the mid-map battle between those two the entire time. Man advantage for Seattle Sloths. Snipe going to miss from Frosty. Keg is just going again here. Watch him chow it here from the head glitch. He's going to feel himself. Accent able to pick up a kill on Chernobyl there from Tin. Keg is just firing everywhere there to try to get the tag. Just get some information from the player.
Yeah, not going to be able to get any shots in, but they know there is a player 10. Looks like Noble is rotated into the middle of the map as well, playing a nice corner underneath Broken. Frosty's overlooking the mid hop up here, going to rotate back over to watch the dojo side. He does have the bomb as well, so we are going to have to give up the snipe play to play the plant. They're going to send in, but Banish able to get 2. Noble gets the kill on the pinch as well. Big wins out of Banish there to get the first player, and I don't know if he was weak or not, but absolutely guns Frosty in the pistol battle as well. So trigger fingers working here for the Seattle Sloth.
Yeah. So far, I mean, they're just capitalizing on the first bloods when they get them playing slow, not getting too over aggressive on search, and they're just making Minnesota have to do something on offense every single time. And on Den, that can be rough. I mean, it's kind of your standard S&D map. You can sit specific places and see the entire bomb site. I mean, it's just tough when you're down a man on the attacking side. Side of Seattle Sloths are playing real slow here towards white, just trying to get out those nades. They may not have trophies, just looking to see what they can do. Vanish, gonna shoulder this corner. Keg gonna put some shots in. Frosty gonna get caught out by Keg, and a couple team shots coming in there most likely. Seattle looking to make this play towards B, but right as I said, we do see Noble checking the back here, worried about the flank. We really haven't seen Floppr flank outside of, after a bomb plant here. Except he's going to get spotted towards Dojo, putting some shots down. We're going to get a little bit aggressive here if you're banished. Almost falls off the map there. Getting here towards the stairs, able to put some shots in and get away with his life. You definitely don't want to lose it there. Bomb still has not been planted. From the side of Noble, we got 40 seconds left in the round. I think they're worried about somebody mid here as Banish is continuing to make some noise towards Dojo here as that mid player is finally going to get active there in KP. Going to pick up Noble. Banish not able to pick up the kills. He gets a little aggressive towards Dojo. KP eventually falls from the hands of Chernobyl towards that tin side as well. 2-2, 23 seconds left.
Yeah, Chernobyl looking to be the aggressive pacemaker here, pushing towards the bomb. Going to get taken out. Zoe with the shoulders is going to get the info onto Keg there. Going to slide out with a pistol, get the first kill. 1v1 now. Going to get the second gun. He's got 6 bullets left. Going for the slide, almost off the map, but he guns him from the hip with the M15.
Zoe, what are we doing, Zoe? That's why you wanted to be in silver.
Who knows what a sub is anymore, man? Oh, good heavens.
Specific places and overloads exactly like that. So I love the mode, love to see it. So I will say in the series before it gets started, obviously I think there's 2 players we haven't seen really play to their potential. It's going to be Zoe and Noble so far. The maps we've been playing really aren't super sub favored. Exposure can get that way. You can get lost a little bit towards the long side. You can start making plays with subs. So I expect Zoe and Noble, I expect them to start to pick it up just a little bit here, start to show that slaying prowess, and we're gonna get gifted with a black card after this. So trust me, we'll see the subs slay. Don't get me wrong, but this is gonna be an extremely important map for these 2 subs. And the player's just leaving. What is he doing? What? What are we doing? And you lose the gunfight.
Well, unfortunate plays there from the side of Floppr is going to lead to our first dunk coming through from the Seattle Sloths. Exent looking to get active towards the spawn already. Shots coming down. Frosty able to clean up that player. Keg looking for the cleanup as well. There is one more player that is in that P4 building. Looks like he did get spotted, and Chernobyl is able to sniff him out and get that kill. And now the Sloths are starting to get a little bit of pressure up towards the map. Looks like they might know that somebody's riding over here towards Solar. Nade is good from Keg on a 4 spree already at 7-1. Looking for some more players to chow him, but he is going to meet an unfortunate fate there with 3 players. Noble looking to slide through with a pistol, shots coming down everywhere, but the goal line staying good from the Floppr, looking to pull this device straight towards the B site of the Seattle Sloths and put the dunk right in. But they are going to slow up a little bit here, and that's going to allow Seattle to potentially get some map presence here. Noble with a big 2-piece towards the spawn as well. Looks like Accent is going to wrap this all the way back out potentially. Zoe playing the corner, able to get one, going to get traded out, but there's only 1 player left over here. Dirt side, big kills coming down from Noble in the middle of the map, and that should be able to force the Minnesota Floppr back towards their spawn, which is going to be great news for the Seattle Sloths if they can win these fights.
Yeah, and I mean, even right now, you're just forcing them to stay there. You're forcing them to stay pushed back on the map. They can't get pushed up. They can't get that overload. So even if you die here and, you go 4 down or whatever, you still have a whole nother wave before they even get close to your side. Noble started to activate 9-3 on the map. Exactly what we kind of needed to see here. He's looking to get this flank here. They are reading it, but the side of Keg is going to be able to shoot a couple people in the back. Last fight coming down here, Accent is able to slip away, get towards Zig to try to get out of their side. But so far, they've spent the majority of their time holding this ball on their side and not just, on 45, not on the 45-yard line, but the 20. Sometimes just right next to the point. Noble with another big 2-piece towards middle. Ball's able to get secured by him. They're going to start making this rotation towards B, and Chernobyl is in a perfect spot. Picks up the player window. Going to have a couple other players here. Just putting a little bit of stoppage, putting a body in front of them to slow them down a little bit. Noble overheating just a little bit too much. They're trying to get that done. But inside of Minnesota Floppr, good stop there against the Sloths. But so far, the Sloths have been controlling the map like maniacs here. Spawns are going to come in from Narnia, though, so they're going to have a tough defense.
Yeah, then we've already got 3 players pushing up towards their Solar side. 2 kills immediately come down for the Sloths. 2v4 left here on time. KP's able to get one for himself. All right, that's not KP. Scoreboard's messed up again. Trades coming back and forth. They're going to get cleaned up. That should allow the Seattle Sloth players to potentially push up towards the Solar side, but they do have to worry about this mid-cut. Looks like Noble or somebody, yeah, it was their scoreboards, right? So Noble's able to get one, Churn able to pick up one towards the middle of the map. Exent going to be over here towards the P2 tank, going to be the first player to kind of stop this push, but we're going to see kind of a stalemate here for a little while until one of these teams is able to get 2 or 3 dead. But the device pull is going to come through immediately. Banish with 1, Banish with 2, but the device has been pulled over towards their side. They are going to have the backup there to clean that up, and now the device is sprinting straight towards the solar side, but the cutoffs from mid are not there quite yet, and we're going to kind of just continue to see this reset blender that we can see over here towards the solar side.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be dangerous. You see the Sloths are spotting on that A point. We have one last player here in Noble, able to pick up one before he falls. Exent able to pick that up, but Keg from the back of Solar able to pick up the bomb carry, not able to move forward as Banish wins the fight towards point as well. Last player here in Exent has the ball, or has the device. Is he able to dunk it? He is not. Noble with a good goal line stop. 20 left on the clock. Both teams can take this into overtime still. Seattle Sloths have majority of map advantage. A good kill comes down from middle, so they are able to control a little bit of this tank side as people start to spawn up towards Solar. Keg able to pick up one. Good shots into the second. 5 seconds left in the round here. If we grab the ball, we're going to see a little bit of overtime. Looks like the Floppr are going to elect to try to grab that here and get this done. Keg on top of Solar, looking to make something work. Shots into the ball carrier, but not able to do anything else. Seattle Sloths are all off spawn here as well.
Teammate comes through. One player left to beat, but the pistol shots just a little bit too far at range, and we're going to end half number 1 at a 1-0 score. And Floppr had some, I would say, interesting plays with the ball, like you said, at their 20-yard line for most of the map, but they also had some really good goal line stands there to stop the Seattle Sloths from scoring over towards that solar side twice. Unfortunate that the one dunk does come through from a potential misplay or maybe miscomm. You never know quite with the timing how the mini-map looks with the device carrier, and maybe just a little fake out happened that allowed them to go for the first dunk there. But ultimately, I think you feel okay at that 1-0. Definitely feels like you can potentially score from this side. You can score from either side of this map, but the spawn traps can be pretty good from this side for the side of Minnesota Floppr. So we'll see if they're able to get any real movement coming here on the scoreboard outside of just kills.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be 4 dead from the side of Floppr to start off here. Chernobyl going to grab that ball, heading towards that dirt side. Banish, only player here towards ring, putting some shots in, not going to read this player behind him. Pistol in for Churn, not going to be able to do anything. 2 dead for the side of Sloths as they start to get this reset ball. Is traveling towards that dirt side. KP is spotting this player in Noble towards top. Noble able to pick up a few before he falls. Ball is going to drop towards dirt as well, and all Floppr are going to be down once again here. Set up for a defense, and I mean, you know, we saw the last round that Sloths, I think, controlled a bunch of the map pressure the entire time, but just were never able to get the ball across the finish line, and, you know, really only had 1 or 2 close opportunities, and it, honestly, just really a misplay from Floppr on the score. It wasn't even like it was Sloths did a great job. Floppr just made a little bit of a mistake. Ball almost gets dunked there. Noble able to stop it on the goal line once again. So far, it's just been a back and forth battle between these two teams.
Yes, it's been so back and forth here so far. Just trades coming down at the perfect time. The goal line stands good. Noble looking to get some shots in with the pistol. We see another kill come through the middle of the map. They're able to sniff out that last player close. There is 2 players on the barrel heady, but the kills are going to go down towards the Sloths. Now the dunk comes through, and now potential spawn traps happening. But the device does spawn towards that solar side. We see 1 player making the cutoff towards mid. Frosty potentially reading it. Going to get whacked in the face with that gun, but going to get taken out. There is 1 more player left up here close to potentially stop this dunk from happening, but it is not going to come through. So KP able to get the first score on the board for the Minnesota Floppr, and we have a game once again.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just saw that. It's just a little unfortunate. You got to feel like you get that device in immediately, but, you know, players spawn pretty much directly on the device there towards that tank side. Pretty much easy just to grab it and get about 75% of the way without even shooting their gun. So side of Minnesota Floppr getting a little bit lucky there on just getting wiped out and being able to tie up the score in this round. Seattle Sloths still bringing that 1 point advantage from the first one. 2.5 halfway through our second half on this one. Minnesota Floppr going to have to retreat a little bit towards dirt with the ball. Looking to make a play towards mid, potentially a rotate all the way out to B. As Seattle Sloths are going to have nobody here initially So this could be a free run. We're going to see one important gunfight happen here through the top. Shots are going to fly in. Keg not able to pick it up. It's actually banished. That's going to be 3 dead for the side of Sloths here. This could get pretty dangerous. If you're Floppr, you're spawning in depths as well. That's going to be that last kill coming in. Sloths are going to have to make... They're going to have to book it to be here.
Yeah, they're going to need to book it to be. 1 kill comes down, trades back and forth, but you're going to get cleared out if you're the Seattle Sloths. And it's so hard on that B point to just know that you need to send it, because those players are usually spawning in the back left of their side, and they have to make it around all the different boxes and things that are in there and spawn. You usually have a pretty free row where you can get a lot of map pressure pushed up, but once again, Sloths get the kills. They're looking to potentially rotate this out back towards mid this time rather than fighting towards the solar side, but it looks like the Floppr are reading it just as soon as they're doing it. So Chernobyl here playing over towards dirt side is going to get some shots taken into him from Zoe there, sending Noble in for the kills, able to get the first, looking for Frosty on the second, but KP on the pinch is able to pick up the ball carrier, going to get shot from the middle of the map, banishes the last player left here in their spawn, going to take out the device carrier and potentially just look for some help from his squad here to potentially make it, but 2 more kills come through. 6 is on a big pinch. He's going to get red though and taken out. I don't know. If he would have gotten all 3 of them, maybe the dunk comes through. His squad mates were all dead, so I just don't know what he's going to do with it.
Yeah, Banish kind of lasts alive here, taking it to a point. Not really sure where this player is. There is a player towards solar. They haven't seen him yet. They finally catch him out, Frosty. Able to get picked up there. Knows this player towards middle. 1 kill going to come in with the pistol accent. Using the better gun there. Able to pull that ball and taking it towards middle. We got 30 seconds left in the round. We will have an overtime if Minnesota Floppr are holding the ball at the end of time, since they are down by 1. Couple of reinforcements here for the side of Seattle Sloths. Noble able to come up huge with a 2-piece. Other players are here. Noble with 3. Can Noble with almost 4. Keg able to get that. 12 seconds left here. I don't think the Minnesota Floppr are even going to be able to get here on time. They're just playing defense on this ball. 7 seconds. Last player pretty close is going to get shut down here. Looks like the Seattle Sloths are going to come away with a nail biter overload. 2-1 on exposure.
Dang.
That ain't a series. I don't know what we got here.
Yeah, I mean, that's how overload can be. You know, we've seen some of these maps where one of these teams on exposure just start running away with dunks, and it's like 4-1 or 6-1, but just the back and forth. I mean, you have to kind of be kicking yourself in the face if you're the Floppr with that one. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to map number 4 here on Black Heart Hardpoint, Seattle Sloths, Minnesota Floppr. We've got flip-flop names. CK's confused. He's going to say things wrong, and now Wolfie's going to talk instead of him.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm not. I'm just listening to a little bit of slice and dice is happening here on Crane's side. I was really curious from the Seattle Sloths who's going to pull out this 3rd sub, or if they were going to. Looks like Chernobyl's going to stick with that sub, expecting a lot of these players to really, really love this map. We have a good number of just pure submachine gun demons who, when we watch them play the AR, rough. But here we go. Seattle Sloths on rotation as well. Picking up the rest of this time. Going to be about even as we head into P2. Just kidding. Shot a Minnesota Floppr able to pick up that kill towards initial, but rotations are here. Noble able to pick up that player on that flank towards left side of the mini-map, or top side of the mini-map as well. So, good plays coming in from the side of Seattle Sloths right now. Noble will be able to pick up 2. Not quite the 3rd, but good shots in. Extenskin's still going to be weak from the last fight. Keg, easy 2-piece there. Spawns are still rotating, or rolling in for the side of Seattle Sloths as they start to expand their lead here. They do have a player towards that top side of the minimap once again, but they are going to pick them up. Last couple players towards mid. Halfway through, and we've seen pretty much one play that's provided some aggression towards the point. We see another one coming in here. 2v1 on the point. Chernobyl's going to help out. Nade going to be at his feet here. Going to get a little bit aggressive. Chernobyl with the double nade himself there. Zoe able to provide 1 from the back. Make that 2 for KP on his side as well. Gonna pick up the last 10. That rotation is being just given to the side of Seattle Sloths there, with taking them out of the old, and you'll take that. You give up about 6 seconds of time and get that brand new rotation. Frosty looking to do something here. We're gonna have a foot race to new outside of Frosty in the back. He's gonna get spotted. That's gonna be a big kill there. Noble doing something in time here with a couple kills. Zoe able to maintain this back for his team here as the spawns are gonna start generate here for the side of Minnesota Floppr in the good side. Keg picking up 1, make that 2. Looking for reinforcements here towards the stairs as the rest of the players are going to flood in. That's 4 down for the side of Minnesota Floppr, but going to continue to get 1 good spawn. The rest are going to be out, so it's going to get a little bit mixy here.
Yeah, that was an interesting rotation over there. We saw Frosty make a nice play, able to win 2 big kills in the back. Ultimately, it looks like the Seattle Sloths are securing a good chunk of time here on the P3, but rotations are going to be key over towards P4. Banish does spawn up there, but looking to help out his squad. Old is going to be able to help contest, but that is going to allow the Seattle Sloths to set up here, or the Minnesota Floppr to set up here for the P4. All 3 players on to time. We see number 6, that's going to be Frosty, watching the deep pinch and may have a gunfight here close with Mr. Banishable, is going to get taken out, and now last player left up alive close. Keg looking to just kind of cause some chaos where he can, but this P4 can be very difficult to break from the front side, particularly, but you win the gunfights and you're ripping people off the headies, you're going to be all right there. Banishable jumping in, going to get taken out. Chernobyl on the pinch, able to get 1, looking for the second player, but Frosty able to win that gunfight and continue this P4 dominance for the side of the Minnesota Floppr.
I mean, yeah, not a great rotation to P2. P3 was a little mixy, but P4 has been nothing but the side of Minnesota Floppr so far. Looking to really cut into that lead from Seattle Sloths. They're going to make it. They could take the lead here. Chernobyl's going to give 1 last attempt as we get in here. Able to pick up the kill, so he's going to pick up a little bit of a scrap time here. The rest of these players are on rotation. Seattle are going to get the closer spawn so far to try to reinforce this new time. Trades are coming through on P5 here. Looks like P1's going to be the attacking route from the side of Minnesota Floppr. Seattle not necessarily reading it. Banish able to pick up 2 towards square, just trying to keep his team alive here. Last player on the time. They are going to get a little bit of contest, not able to pick up the kill, but just buying his teammates a little bit of time here. Chernobyl is going to get picked up in the front. 3 in the feed for the side of Minnesota. Keg able to pick up 2 of his own. Just looking to keep this a mixy battle towards P5. Neither team is really being allowed to have much breathing room here. Wave after wave of players are just making their impact.
Yeah, and Banishable on a nice play in the back here is able to distract 2 players from the backside, but Accent goes huge with a 3-piece from the hill to just continue the good hold here on the P5. We're going to make our way over towards P1, and much like we saw in our Scar, a pretty close first set of rotations here. Both teams fighting and battling pretty hard here so far to start off our Blackheart map number 4, but ultimately the second rotation is where we start to see some of those changes come through in the middle map from these 2 squads. You continue to push the pace. Do you choose to slow up? Do you try to play a better rotate on some of these hills that you missed up on last time? But the Minnesota Floppr in P1 first. Seattle Sloths do have that preferred side towards P2 spawns right now, but you do need to be concerned about this P1 hill time as well. So Minnesota Floppr starting off great here on our second rotation so far.
Yeah, so you're going to get that P2 spawn as well, as they've just really held down a lot of this P1. We start to see Accent start to heat up here. Loves the submachine gun, I'm sure loves these small maps for the Dravik here. Rotation, not yet come in for the side of Seattle. They got 15 left, starting to lose these players off of that deep rotation. Contest still coming through P1. Zoe looking to make a move towards this right side. Keg, unfortunate team kill. They are going to get that player out of P1. Zoe's going to get a little aggressive, but they still are maintaining these P2 spawns. Big fight coming there towards the top. Frosty able to win it against Churn. Accent continuing his dominance here in this map so far. Keg just going to run straight into the hill. Who cares if someone's behind you? Now you care.
Yeah, I mean, good plays here so far from the side of the Minnesota Floppr. They're playing their positions well. They're winning the key gunfights. So knows that there's players over here towards the backside of Crane looking to help out from the front side as well. Noble Chowling from outer is going to get some good shots in, but going to get weak, and that's going to allow Frosty to have that free 2-piece from the front side of time. And now we see Accent getting kind of active here towards the middle of the map, potentially looking to see what they can do towards the middle, but they're going to run right into Keg in the middle of P1. They're going to get taken out, and now we're going to see the rotation come through on the left side of the map. Banishable playing a nice creddy there, able to get 1, not going to get any more immediately, but isn't going to be able to get the second kill as well. So Seattle Sloths choosing to play kind of away from this P2 side with like 20-25 seconds left, and looking to play the rotate here and have a much better P3, much like they did last time. One player left in time. That's going to be Frosty, is able to get the first, but going to get traded out. It's going to allow his teammates to get a little bit of pressure front, but we're going to see trades come back and forth. 1v1 left here on the time. Extent is going to get pinched by Keg there, window, but his boys are spawning in the backside of this hill now, so now the Sloths have to turn around and fight from the back as the Minnesota Floppr are going to continue to kind of split spawn here as well. So getting kind of mixy here on the P3 so far. Noble trying his best to stay alive where he can, but he might have enough pressure here to help his boys from the front side, but the Floppr are going to take them right down. So rotation comes through early for the Sloths, but unable to hold here on P3 as the Minnesota Floppr push the 200 mark.
Yeah, I mean, so far the pack-a-punch is working out with these two ringers coming in for the side of Minnesota Floppr, doing absolute work on this map so far. KP and Zoe, a long-time duo trio with whoever else, they're just kicking their feet up on this map. They don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a stellar map here from the side of Minnesota Floppr. Keg with a nice shots and the nade, looking to clean up this last player into hill, but it looks like Frosty coming to contest from the inside is going to get taken out by Banishable. They are still going to be spawning in the back, so you're going to get a little bit of time here before the contest comes through. That's going to allow the Seattle Sloths to potentially get some help here from time, but we just see all the gunfights going down, not in their favor. I think that was a cruise missile coming in from Ixin as well to keep the Sloths off this time, and they're looking to continue to keep pushing the pace here on the P4. They're not worried about P5 rotations quite yet. This is going to allow the Seattle Sloths to make the rotation over, and they're getting a little bit of the scrap time here, so potentially a good streak, but it is going to come to the end as Zoe does kill Banishable over there towards the old time. But good news, you're going to spawn with your boys over here towards the new hill, but you got to think they got to get a full 60 here in order to make this comeback potentially happen. I hear a second cruise missile coming in from the side of the Minnesota Floppr, only able to get one. Frosty is no real pressure close on the map as well here quite yet. There is going to be a gunfight coming down square that is going to be won by the side of Minnesota Floppr. Trades coming back and forth here. Looks like Seattle Sloths are going to come out on top. There is one more player in the back. Noble reads him, shots into that player, but it's going to get gunned by Zoe. He is going to get cleaned up by the rest of the Seattle Sloths there, so doing a good hold here on the P5, but the map's not over quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen plenty of this where P5, you know, you eventually stop these players from getting in. They are going to take the rest of this time. Banishable's looking here to try to stop him, but is not going to. 240 mark is going to be hit. We'll see them hit probably about 245, I believe, so only need 5 seconds on new. So far, kills are going good. Hill is going to pop right now. Nobody in it just yet. Kind of just looking for these rotations. KP hits a stun right in the forehead. 3 dead for the side of Minnesota Floppr. Extent last one here, able to pick up any more. He is not. They need 1 point here. The side of Seattle Surge need to be or Seattle Sloths. Holy cow. They need to be perfect here. It's going to be so difficult here. Chernobyl, last player alive there in Minnesota Floppr, are going to take the Blackheart there. Just Frosty and Accent just coming to play on this one, which is honestly nothing less than what I'd come to expect out of those two players.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota Floppr just looks so dominant in the hard points here so far. I mean, the slaying power is there. Their teamwork looks great. They're rotating to these hills early. They're having stellar setups where the entire map, but we are here on exposure. Looks like we have the right teams, so hopefully we don't mess any names up because of that. We're going to see a team nade potentially come through, or maybe a nade blew up in his hand. Trades come through right back and forth here. We're already in a 3v2 life advantage to the side of the Seattle Sloths. We're looking at a potentially a middle play here. Chernobyl playing from the top window is going to be in a good spot. Exent and Zoe here playing in the middle of the map, potentially looking for this A plant or looking for info where they can. Zoe's going to chow window, going to win that gunfight and even up the score here 2-2 in lives.
Yeah, Banish is going to come across both players here. Going to see them both just put some free shots down. Knows where both these players are. Going to put every ammo in both of his mags out of there. They're going to know that the pinch is coming through. Keg on the outside, so they have them trapped in here so far. Banish looking to get a little bit aggressive, putting down 200 damage into that one player, but KP is going to come up on top, I believe. I don't actually know. KP's dead. Never mind. It's Zoe and Ascent. Ascent getting some interesting timing there. How is he not dead, dude? Oh, that is crazy, man. Zoe's looking to get some interesting timing. Not going to win that gunfight against Keg. Keg, not able to read it, but gets some good shots. But Ascent going to walk up on top there. Minnesota Floppr able to convert on that man disadvantage in round number 1.
I mean, you gotta think that. So is this actually KP? This is Exit, right? So that's what you said.
No, it's Ascent. Yeah.
It's Exit. Yeah, you gotta think he's got like a stem shot in his back pocket or something, because Keg and Banish, they're just absolutely putting bullets into both these players, just unable to get that last bullet or two to get the kill. Just insane from that side. But the Floppr doing a phenomenal job of playing their lives there. And in the man disadvantage, they did really well to end up winning that round with the unfortunate nade that comes through on spawn. But Seattle Sloths, you're in a good position here still. They're getting aggressive over here towards the B side. First blood's going to come down. Accent getting ripped by at least 2 or 3 of these players is going to get taken out as well. KP on the pinch, going to get some shots into Keg, but going to get taken out as well. So now Zoe left in the 1v4 is able to get the first kill. He's going to need to scram because there's 3 players hunting for him right now. Potentially going back on the pinch if he does choose. I don't know. He's going to read Keg there in the corner. But ultimately, he's looking for somebody to give up their life here. That way he can get that first pick and put it into a 1v2. But he's going to fall right into the arms of the Seattle Sloth. And, I mean, they're just playing good. They're not giving up their position in that round. They're waiting for that player to come to them. And ultimately, you just got to be patient, wait for that play to come through, and then win the gunfight or get the trade when it matters. So pretty hectic start to that round, like we can see in exposure sometimes, where there's 4 players just banging the site, and next thing you know, 3 people are dead, and you got to kind of clutch up for the boys. So solid round number 2 there. Good bounce back from the side of the Seattle Sloths.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see the the little chaotic initial rounds, but the side of Seattle Sloths just electing to, commit to B, and that's tough. Sometimes you just need to make the commitment, invest the players, and so side of Minnesota Floppr looking to do that same thing. Banish trying to get that rechal. Interesting timing there, just not able to work. Noble is able to pick up a nade on Accent there. Nade is going to come down here as well. Noble's still fighting someone towards middle there, and that's going to be KP. He's chasing him towards P1. Sees that he's going to go ASD. He's going to hop on a heady, but Noble is still fighting this. Omni movement there for the win for Noble. Zoe able to pick up a kill on his own in the back, though. It's going to be Noble and Noble here in the 2v2.
Yeah, in the 2v2. Zoe's got the timing here. Shots into the first player, shots into the second player as well. Connect. Great timing on the pinch there to catch both of the Seattle Sloth players looking over the hop up, trying to get what info they can. So great pinch there from the side of the Minnesota Floppr. Able to have a solid round there. And once you get that bomb down B, it can be so difficult to retake because there's so many spots that these players could be. They could be playing underneath the closed solar. They could be playing on that box in the back. They could be playing towards, the power plant side, whatever people actually call that. They could have rotated out towards tank, and they could be on a full pinch. You never really know. So it could be very difficult to retake that site from the defensive side. And that's why we usually see a lot of commitment with 1 or 2 players posted up towards the B site early on. Looks like Zoe is taking a trip in the swirly box here. He's got sights onto 2 players, I think, able to get the kill onto the first one. Maybe he doesn't know that this player's behind him as well, but he may just be able to rat in here for a little while longer before he inevitably jumps up and falls into the arms of Keg. Noble looking for him as well, gonna get the info, but 2 kills come down for the Minnesota Floppr. Then the last gunfight coming down here as well, able to win that round. I mean, staying alive in that box for as long as you did, kind of just sitting on your butt, having the enemy team tweak about trying to get you out of there, it's a strat and it works. So ultimately, great round there from the side of Minnesota Floppr, able to get those initial early kills and then close out the round.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is there, your Keg, you've invested to dirt side already. When you're in that box, you could see all of dirt. You can see through middle. I mean, it's a good power position, so you want to get him out of there. But I mean, Keg, feel like you've committed towards dirt. You got to get this guy out of box. But he had, obviously can't see it. Had some good timing there towards to just push all the way through that overload point. And maybe could have done something there, but it's just those kind of little tiny things, those little plays that make the huge difference here in these S&Ds. Nate is going to connect for extent, at least going to get the hit marker there. 3v3 in this round. Looks like B is going to be the position that they go for as well. Chernobyl's going to spot one. Doesn't spot the bomb carrier just yet. Finally does. Bomb not down just yet. Chernobyl is able to pick up that kill. Banish able picking up a kill of his own. Immediate trade. Going to be a 2v1. Sorry, 1v2 for KP here. Bomb not down. 50 seconds left. Is going to spot one player, Banish, but Banish is going to come out on top there. Seattle putting a stop to the Minnesota Reign here on exposure. Looking to tie this one up here on a good attacking round. We haven't, last night, I unfortunately saw way too much of this map, and the S&D side of it, you really got to win your offenses. It's really important to string those. If you can get two together, it can be pretty dangerous. The defense is honestly a little bit easier. You can play slow, you can play passive. Honestly, the only way to really lose on that one is if a team decides to get aggressive A, but we really got to see some offenses start to ring out for both these teams if they're going to be successful here.
Yeah, otherwise we're going to continue to see our back and forth battle. And, from the defensive side there, that hop-up spot, Chernobyl's able to get the information on both those players and convert on the kill and the trades back and forth. Frosty able to get the first blood there onto Banish, trying to push through. Noble with the immediate trade there back onto him. KP on the pinch is going to get taken out as well. So 3v2 here. Xent able to get one, going to back up here with his boy Zoe, looking to potentially play the retake here, but the Seattle Sloths kind of just waiting, seeing what information they can get. It looks like the Floppr are going to go on a deep rotation here, so the bomb plant is free if Noble and Keg choose to go for it immediately, but they're still concerned about where these two players ran off to without the information, as potentially we're looking to rewrap back into our spawn again, the Minnesota Floppr are, but bomb is going to rotate out with Noble, so curious spot here. Keg going to get some shots in from both these players. Noble's going to fly in for the kill, going to get taken out. That's going to leave Keg up here in a 1v2. Going to get sights onto the first player, but the immediate team shots coming down from the Floppr. Just a great retake there. It can be difficult to commit to getting that bomb planted when you're not sure what position these players are holding from or where they're going from. And Floppr do a good job of getting lost and then ultimately playing well together. They get an isolated sort of 1v1 where Keg is there. They get Keg weak. Noble tries to help out. They get the kill onto Noble, and then Keg's left up at half HP, looking to potentially line two players up to get the kills. So just excellent teamwork out of the Minnesota Floppr here so far in the exposure S&D.
Yeah, and I mean, it comes down to when you get lost like that, where it just really just, honestly becomes a luck game sometimes. And there's that sniper we talked about. I believe that's Frosty out there with the snipe. Able to pick up Keg towards top window, so feeling good there if you're the side of Minnesota Floppr to get Keg out of the way. Banish looking to this player towards dirt side is going to get baited out and picked up there by, I believe that was underneath. Churn knows where one player is. Noble's able to pick up one. Bomb is going to get dropped here, but Churn suspects that there is somebody there. Noble's going to get activated towards Zig. Able to pick up this one player going towards that bomb side. Frosty is still there mid with a snipe. Noble is going to get spotted out here. Shots are being missed by Frosty. We'll see what he can pull out here. Chernobyl and Noble able to pick up, I believe that was a 2v3 clutch to keep themselves on the lifeline side here, bringing this to a 4-3.
Yeah, 4-3 is going to be feeling good, but like you said, they're going to need to win an offensive round here, so they need to find what their play is. Potentially what worked for them previously isn't going to work this time. We've seen lots of B hits out of them, kind of trying to square up towards the tank side, and it hasn't been working, but the A bomb site is just so open. There's so many angles to cover. It can feel hard to kind of switch up and play over here. Maybe they need to play a little bit slower, play some more picks, and then ultimately kind of fly in for the final kills where they need to. But we're going to be making our way right back over towards the B side. Looks like we're going to see a nade come through from Frosty over the solar panel side. Another kill coming down for the side of Minnesota Floppr is going to leave the Seattle Sloths in an early 4v2 scenario, and they're looking to already potentially rotate back out, maybe play some mid play here, maybe wait to see if the Floppr are going to give up a life. Ultimately, we're going to see what the Floppr decide to do with this superior life advantage. Noble looking for the kill onto KP, but going to get taken out there. Now we're going to see Mr. Chernobyl left up here in a 1v4 any clutch.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. Players are grouped up here, just not able to get it done. Minnesota Floppr taking us to game point here in map number 5, and I mean, so far they've just been making the plays better. That's what we talked about this game being, is who can, honestly make the least amount of mistakes is what it comes down to. And so far, Floppr have just gotten lucky when they've had those even man square ups. They've gotten some good timing on it, and honestly, that's kind of the one thing that just S&D just never fits well with me, is it just comes down to a timing and a luck thing sometimes. But that's the game mode, and Minnesota Floppr are playing it.
Yeah, I mean they're playing it really well here so far on exposure. I mean we've seen some good nades from them. We've seen just some stellar teamwork, and they're playing slow here on the offensive side, looking for that first pick, looking for potentially the mistake to come through from the side of Seattle Sloths, where we might be getting some activity over here towards the solar side, doing a good job of clearing everything out before they start to push. There is only one player that's going to be banished in the depths of this B bomb site. He is potentially going to get in a gunfight here pretty close. He is going to get taken out by Accent. Now we're going to see the Seattle Sloth arrows start to move. Looks like Chernobyl going on a pinch mid is going to run into 2 Minnesota players as well. So now a 2v4 scenario for Keg and Noble. Accent playing a nice critty up here close. Great shots into Noble. Going to take him out. Keg in the 1v4 going to get swarmed by the Floppr. Floppr able to take that search and destroy there in a 6-3 fashion. So kind of a taste of the medicine of map number 2 in their favor this time. And they're going to be on match point here, looking to close out. Yeah, starting off well so far. Chernobyl able to get the device carrier from that white wall position, able to slow the aggression of the Floppr here so far, looking to get over towards the plane heady side as well, able to get that kill. That's going to be 3 dead in the feed. One more player towards mid is going to get cut off as well. That's going to allow the Seattle Sloths to potentially get some pressure up towards the front middle side of this map. 2 more kills to their side, 1 more player left here close. Shots come down, but the bomb carrier does get taken out before the trade comes through. So Minnesota Floppr, nice little goal line stand there, choosing to leave the device right in front of the point, potentially playing the reset here, looking to control the middle of the map. Reset does come through. Vanish is left in the middle of store, going to get some shots taken at him from the middle of the wall. We see the Sloths kind of grouped around towards the middle of the map here. Potential flank coming through from the side of KP is going to get seen and spotted and going to ultimately get picked up. We're going to see a 3v2 here towards the back buses for potentially our first score.
Yeah, Banish was the last player kind of blocking there. We do see another one come in, and that's going to be a score for the side of Seattle Sloths here. Ball is spawning towards that plane side. Green control is going to be huge if the Sloths can get it. They cannot. So the entire side of plane is going to go to the side of Minnesota Floppr, and this is where it can get pretty dangerous. Banish, kind of one of the last defenders here, is going to get picked up. Zoe picking up 2 clutch kills. Noble, make that 1, make that almost 2, as Churn's going to provide some support on that goal line defense once again. Device is still there. Plane side is going to be the attack from Floppers. We're going to start to see a rotation towards mid. The side of Seattle Sloths, I think, are just trying to play for this device reset. We see 3 dead. Last player is going to be known towards that plane side, so they can start to make a move towards front, as that those players are going to spawn P2. These next couple kills for the side of Seattle Sloths could result in a score here if they are good with it.
Yeah, just unfortunately not able to they were able to get the kills, but they didn't have the map presence to push out the green to get the spawns to kind of flip. But there is Noble still up top green, looking to cause some havoc. Potential spawn out happening here from the side of the Minnesota Floppr. Chernobyl bouncing around on the windows is able to still get the dunk as well. Keg with 3 in the feed, looking to continue his reign of terror here on the Scar so far. Banishable looking for the spawners, able to get 2 immediately off spawn. Is going to get taken out top green as well. All pressure here from the side of the Seattle Sloths, looking to make their way towards this B site once again for another dunk. It is not going to come through quite yet. Last player does get cleaned up by the Floppr as well. Still a lot of pressure here on the map from the side of the Seattle Sloths, but the Minnesota Floppr winning some nice fights there towards the middle of the map. Noble is the last player left here close, is going to have sights on the KP there, going to finish off that player. Sint causing some havoc in the blue spawn, is able to get 2 of his own before he inevitably gets traded out. Device is going to get picked up and pulled. Now the Floppr potentially wrapping it back and looking to maybe find some find the seam ultimately to get the dunk here, to get their first score on the board.
Yeah, Frosty makes a big flank there. We do see one player left here towards Plainside. Banish able to pick up one and just putting some stops in, allowing his team to come through. It's not going to be this last player towards mid. Is going to get picked up as well, so it's all 4 dead for the side of Minnesota Floppr. Device going to be back in control of Seattle Sloths. They've been somewhat successful as we've gone towards this B side before. It's really just going to be a bang up. Except going to be the last player alive. Pistol's not going to hit for Banish, except with a big 3-piece to able to stop that push as well. It could have been dangerous to go down 3-0. We have a minute left in this half. Can we see if either team are going to make a big push?
Yeah, and kills trades coming back and forth here in the middle of the map. 2-piece for Frosty, 2-piece for Keg. KP still playing towards the middle side, is going to nab the device here. There are a couple players posted up towards Plainheady, towards that white wall. We see a pinch coming through mid-cut. Noble's able to get one, Noble able to get two, looking to push through the map as well. So potentially looking for these spawners. They do need to clear out Accent here, who is stored. They are able to get that. Noble does fall in the spawns, but that is going to allow his team to pull the device and have a lot of pressure up here towards the front side of buses. One more player close left to beat, trades back and forth. Third dunk comes through for Keg and the Seattle Sloths. Potential spawn trap continuing to go through with the aggression. Devices now spawning mid, but we're going to see a little bit of a reset here as the Flop are able to clear out those players out of their spawn.
Yeah, Sloths have the opportunity to take the ball here. They do. They take that mid-cut. Is going to fall. We got 3 seconds left. And Floppr are in possession of the ball as overtime hits. Man, that is going to be it. Their halftime is going to ring through. Seattle Sloths making the best of the worst half here, going up 3-0 so far in the Scar Overload. And, I mean, so far just really coming out on top of the, the trade battles. Able to get, some clean 2-3 pieces and start to advance that device up the map. Just able to get those crucial kills towards the end. And, I mean, it could have very easily been 4. Obviously, that's the max you can get. But there were so many opportunities where they maybe had one player push maybe just too far, didn't take the aim of the defender, and just ball carrier gets dropped, a player eventually dies, but then nobody else there is to pick it up. So, side of Seattle Sloths, you're feeling good with 3-0, especially on that worst side here. You could start to make a statement on this map. If you just start to run away with this, you're going to put kind of the fear on the side of Minnesota Floppr as we head into a map 7. But we still got a half to play here, and the side of Minnesota Floppr can do exactly what Seattle just did. No problem. We've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah, they already have a 4 dead. They're already pushing the aggression here. This is going to be a free first dunk for the side of the Minnesota Floppr. Looking to continue the spawn kills as well. So looking for these players in the middle of the map, potentially getting picked up. We do see one player spawning out, 2 players actually spawning out towards the B side, but the device is over towards Plain. So potentially a big pinch coming through from Noble here. We'll see if anybody's able to pick up these players that are close to potentially allow this pinch to come through. One player left is going to get taken out. That's going to allow Noble to keep a little bit of pressure here on the map, but he's going to immediately run into the iron sights of KP there, and we're going to see a reset once again over towards this plane heading. We're going to see which team is going to win this trade battle or get the most multi-kills before we start to see some pressure move through.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're the Sloths, you got about 4 minutes left. You're trying to protect a 2-point lead. You don't want things to get out of hand on this plane side, but the Sloths themselves know that this plane can be a diabolical little setup. Shout out to our team with the scrim. They know exactly what I'm talking about here. But Frosty able to pick up a big 2-piece towards middle. Noble getting the final trade there. Just going to stop Zoe. Last one alive here towards plane. They're going to get that bad timing. Device is going to go just neutral right here in plane as Noble's going to be sent forward to try to get some kills, get some shots into the first, shots into the second. KP is eventually going to fall. Ball control, or device control, is in the side of Sloths. One last player to beat Zoe. Is he going to die? He is not. He's going to pick up a big crucial 2-piece. There's one last player here, Noble, looking to put the pressure on. He's got to grab this device here in the next couple of seconds, or it's going to reset back towards that plane side, just looking to take some shots. But the side of Minnesota Floppr are going to come out on top, electing to take this device. It looks towards plane side, but they're just trying to get a feel for the battle.
Yeah, they're just looking for the initial kills to come through to go down in their favor. It looks like Noble is top green, able to get the kill onto that first player with the ball. Accent going to be here still on plate heady, Chernobyl fighting over here in the middle of the map is going to get some shots into Frosty there in store, and then eventually get that kill as well. And you've successfully eaten up a minute of this clock and almost got a score if you're the side of the Seattle Sloths. So feeling good here so far. They're just looking for potentially these trades to roll through, how they can kind of get up through the middle of the map. Banish wins a big fight there mid-cut with the pistol in hand, and we're potentially going to see maybe a move, or we might be seeing some turtling here going on, depending on what the Sloths are thinking right now.
I'm just telling you, if you haven't played Scar Overload and the ball has been over here, if you're up, just leave the ball. It is a diabolical setup. You don't have to spawn trap. You just literally let it sit here. If you can aim and you can shoot, they are not getting past you in plain sight. But Seattle Sloths, I know, are not looking just to sit by. They do have that device up to the boat side already. Multiple players here just looking for the sneaky play. Keg, gonna be the player here, probably the slowest one on the team. Able to get that dunk eventually. Gonna extend that lead to 3. Gonna put the pressure here on Minnesota Floppr. They have a minute and a half. Very possible to do here, especially if you set up a spawn trap. Ball or device is gonna spawn on just the worst spot there in that P2 side. Super difficult to get out of P2 once you have this device. And Zoe's gonna feel that there. So that's 4 dead for the side of Minnesota Floppr. Cruise missile is coming in for Keg, gonna delay those spawns just a little bit. So they're all gonna spawn store. What the hell was that? But Minnesota Floppr are gonna be here. We got a minute left. We got to start counting this down. They're gonna have, they probably need at least 40 or 45 seconds to make this doable, and that time is quickly going away. Plain sight is completely free for Chernobyl. He's just happy to hold the ball right here as he's going.
Yeah, and they're potentially getting aggressive here as well. Noble able to get a nice 2-piece there onto the plane, looking for the third shots into the third player. Chernobyl is able to clear that up. There is one player on top blue, but the dunk does come through as KP with potentially some shaky shots. That is going to put our lead up here for the Seattle Sloths 5-1. Still a lot of map pressure to their favor as well. Frosty and Exint able to combine for 2 in the feed. Noble going to get 2 of his own. Chernobyl able to follow up with 1 as well. That's going to allow the pull to come through. Potentially another free dunk coming through from Noble, but stopped right at the goal line. But it does not matter. 10 seconds left on the clock. Minnesota Floppr cannot score enough. They're going to pick up the device, and they're going to get this overtime here in order to continue to potentially get one. But Seattle Sloths are going to win map number 6 in a 5-1 fashion with another stellar map of overload from that squad. Noble once again popping off. We saw lots of sprees from both of these two teams, but that we are going to push ourselves towards that Colossus map 7 to close out our series for tonight.
Man, we couldn't ask for a better series between these two teams. I'm excited to see it. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is a Game 7. Shut up, CK. I'm going right now. Game 7, Gold South. This is exactly what we wanted to see here. 2 very evenly matched plat teams playing down in gold this year. Couple ringers being brought on the side of the Minnesota Floppr. Churn dropping a 0.5 every series. We have a series on our hands. Colossus Search and Destroy, quite possibly the worst map I've ever seen. But here we are, going to be a bang-out Search and Destroy. Who's going to come out on top?
One of these two teams is going to come out on top, I think. And Minnesota Floppr starting off here with that first blood always makes a big difference on the Colossus. We're going to see lots of mid-map control. Banish looking to push through is going to get some bad timing there onto Exint. Now in the 2v4, we're seeing these players fly at P2. Shots coming in from Keg. Chernobyl able to get one. Put himself in the 1v3, does get some bad timing there. I guarantee he got spotted, and he's about to get flown at by Frosty here. Shots coming down, able to connect, but no kill coming through. So Chernobyl looking to wrap out, has a tough ask here in the 1v3 on this little small map where you're able to kind of stack up with the homies and potentially play these trades pretty effectively. But KP is going to take the one-on-one, get the good timing there of Churn trying to check some spots. And Minnesota Floppr is going to come out on round number 1, only losing 1 life. So feeling pretty good to start off this map number 7.
Yeah, I mean, Colossus is just honestly just to bang out who can get first blood and then play your man advantage on some trades. And it's exactly what we see from the side of Floppr. They get that first blood and they just take their time, wait for a second one to roll in, and then start to activate towards that P2 side on Keg there on that heady. Sloths, it's their time to return here on an offense. See if they can come back with a win or themselves.
Yeah, and they're choosing to make their aggression over here towards the B site. KP is going to get a lot of info, but potentially a lot of shots ring out at him. Immediate kill comes through, Accent rotating back over, as well as Zoe there looking to potentially stop this plant from happening. Accent is going to get the shoulder. Shots come through. Frosty on the pinch is going to get spotted, going to get shots taken into him as well, as Noble is spraying and praying through the doors. Frosty shots as well coming through. Keg is trusting that the back is covered here. Banish on the repinch now is going to be able to get that kill. Zoe going to get flown at and going to get traded out there as well. Just a lot of, honestly, bad timings, but also good plays from the Seattle Sloths to have the trust in their teammates of Noble there to continue looking forward to get these kills while they can trust that Noble's got the back covered, not going to allow those kills to come through from the backside. And KP, you know, looking around early of that map, kind of looking, not seeing anything, shoulders back over, the slides come through, and next thing you know, we have 3 people ripping you with the M15, and you're never going to survive that. So good bounce back round there from the Seattle Sloths, and offense has been good here so far in the Colossus.
Yeah, I think it's really just about who can get these first picks and just maintain that. That was just a mixy round there on some of those shoulders being thrown towards bottom. It could have gone either way and could have been a disaster. Noble, the bomb carrier there, was just all alone. It could have been really bad, but works out good for the side of Seattle. Looking like we're just having a slow round here from both sides. Looking for Minnesota Floppr, just making sure the A site is clear. I don't think they've cleared towards statue just yet. Are going to smoke the bomb, maybe get a little bit of a fake there, but the side of Seattle Sloths are just playing this slow, looking to get some information here. Noble's going to get activated there on those shots. Zoe shooting through the smoke is going to be a little bit more difficult. Keg going to mow down his own teammate there. Banish going to make up for it, going to pick up Accent. KP going to be stuck in between 2 players here. A little bit awkward, but Zoe and KP each call for 1 here. Keg, last going to be a last alive. He knows they're both here. He's going to get this peek. He gets both of them too. What a 1v2 out of Keg.
Yeah, Keg knows that both those players are weak from those gunfights. He gets the nice split there where he's able to get that first player, slide back across the statue, and hop right back up. And Zoe's looking for him down low, does get the shots into him up high. But when you're a little weak and you've got the shooter Keg that's not going to miss bullets on you with that Tennessee fiber powered by Jack Daniels whiskey, you're going to lose. And that's just is what it is. So Seattle Sloths, 2 straight rounds there. Yeah, Tennessee honey, Jack Daniels, Fireball, cinnamon whiskey, everything. You know, that's all of it.
I wonder what KP's drinking tonight. Feel like we got to get that one moving forward if KP's on the broadcast. That was a smoke and a half.
We got the whiskey bandit and whatever KP's drinking.
I think he's a whiskey guy. That's what he said in Gen Chat a couple times.
I don't know if we can have 2 whiskey bandits. We have to have something different. He seems like a Moscow Mule kind of guy to me.
Little dented glass, little dented copper
glass. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel I could see that.
Yeah, you know? But not like a regular Moscow Mule, like a strawberry Moscow Mule or something fruity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see Zoe just sitting in the corner drinking a glass of milk for sure. I think that's her possibilities between the teams. A big one too, not like your standard, not your standard like nighttime, just Little Wonder like in the morning. I don't know. The milk consumption in America is very different than my household, so we'll keep it there. But I mean, yeah, as we're talking about drinks, some kills roll through, some team wins. I think it was Floppr. I don't know, man.
I mean, yeah. Milk's a good beverage. Exactly. I'll say that. Floppr won the round. Milk? Yeah.
Well, standard setup coming from the side of Minnesota Floppr here, going towards this A site. We see Neptune's Prodigy there in Noble, probably playing that spot there with an AR. Can we get a little check on number 7 here? Is he number 7? Number 7. There it is. There it is. There it is. There's Neptune's lover right there playing his spot. But bomb has been rotated over towards B. Minnesota Floppr are going to pick up that first blood there. Vanish is going to have an opportunity. Spots one player, gets some shots in. Going to send in Keg for the reinforcements. Take some shots in. We do have the side of Minnesota Floppr are stuck here. They cannot get out towards the front. They're going to have to rotate all the way back. And Noble almost has some good timing to catch that, but isn't going to catch it just yet here. He's going to assume those players are still there towards bottom. Sees those players towards top mid. Is going to have to get away. Knows that there's some pressure coming in. But side of Minnesota Floppr have maintained their life advantage. Still up for the 3 here in the life count. They're going to get that bomb down towards A. So the Seattle Sloths are going to know where they're coming from. But where anybody is just a complete guess. Keg, big kill on Frosty here, evening up the lives. But the side of Minnesota do at least know the knowledge of positioning of 2 players.
Yeah, and Keg's got a big gunfight up here in P1, but is not going to read the player in the corner, going to get taken out. Trades potentially coming back and forth here, middle 1v1 left here between Zoe and Noble, and shots are almost clean, but Zoe with the drop shot is able to dodge the last couple bullets that Noble needed there to get the kill and to get that defuse. So good ice from the man Zoe with the M15. He's got the right gun for the job. He's got the movement. By that, I mean he's laying on his tum-tum. Maybe he's a little itchy. I don't know what's going on, but Minnesota Floppr are able to convert on their life advantage and take the 3-2 lead here in map number 7.
Yeah, I mean, so far, just been back and forth. Another close one comes down to a 1v1 there. Side of Seattle Sloths are looking to take a little bit slower approach towards the A. Gonna back off this player on this heady. Trophy has been invested on that player as well. Chernobyl's able to spot one towards top mid. At least knows a little bit of the presence that we have here. Banish taking some shots, sees one player. Not able to get anything done. So far, just being another stalemate here. We do have a player, number 4, sent towards that P1. Able to spot out that player. Chernobyl's going to just play patient and get that trade or get that kill. That's going to be man advantage to the Seattle Sloths, which I don't know how many times we've seen that, but I feel like it hasn't been much this map. Let's see if they can convert here with bomb down.
Yeah, trying to convert with bomb down. Noble flying in from P1. Vanishable following up as well. Trades are going to be good from the side of the Seattle Sloth. 1v3 left here for Zoe. The baits are phenomenal. Noble being the aggressor, but doing a great job of playing his life there. Looking for his boys to back him up as he's trying to bait these Minnesota Floppr players into making a mistake, and mistakes they did. I think that was at least 3 good baits in P1 from the side of Noble with Banish and Churn there to back him up as well. So great round there out of the Seattle Sloths. Whenever you get the bomb planted, you know that they've got to be pretty much always coming from mid or fighting from the P2 side. We don't ever really see the deep pinch develop too much, or the underplay usually is easy to stop as well. So once that bomb gets down, it's a pretty good spot. Team or self-nade, I guess, comes down from Noble. Vanish gonna reset the lives there as well from the blue side. Chernobyl potentially on the pinch, might have gotten some intel that the players were over towards the B site, but the Minnesota Floppr are going to be rotating all the way back out to make their way towards the A side. But Keg is still posted up on P2 heady. I don't think he's moved or died from here the entire game except for the scoreboard. But Frosty gets the intel, slides it at Chernobyl, gets that kill, puts them back up to a 3-2 life advantage.
Yeah, Minnesota Floppr going to want to rotate out towards B here, just showing face for now, but going to get this rotation. Vanish going to read this a little bit here. Gets the bomb carrier down, gets away with his life. So we're going to see a reset to a 2v2 here. He's going to see this player cross as well. Frosty going to get a couple shots in. Knows that other player's got to be pretty close. Keg still watching for that A site, just making sure nobody flanks around. But the side of Minnesota Floppr have to make a move here. They're going to get that bomb down on B here. They're not going to read this player towards top. KP just gets some unfortunate timing here. Shots going down towards that top. No aim assist there on the top. Keg able to pick up one. Make that the second is KP just falls into the gunfire of Keg. And that is just unfortunate timing there for Minnesota Floppers. Seattle Sloths just walk away with a round that they should not have won.
I mean, KP had a good spot there, was looking towards the back, and both players slide out through hole. He's going to get a little weak, going to re-hop back up, and like you said, just unfortunately falls right into the gunfire of Keg. You know, they line up for accuracy, they line up for Keg, and, you know, We're talking about 2 statue ARs right there, an S&D, you know, I think it makes kinda sense that that happens, but Seattle able to take that defensive round there, take the 4-3 advantage, and they've been performing well on the offensive side, to go along with it, so they're looking to put themselves on map point here, and from the side of Minnesota Floppr, they're looking to bounce right back and put us in a 4-4.
Yeah, Smoke is going to come into that backside keg, not able to win that gunfight against KP. That is big. Zoe putting the pressure on to try to make something work, but is going to get caught out. Noble able to make that trade come through. It is a 3-3 here. KP's just going to look to reposition. Frosty getting this kill on Banish towards middle extent, going to pick up one as well. Less with Noble going to be there in the middle and just not going to be able to make it work. Minnesota, quick round answer there to bring this back to a 4-4, getting closer to that ever-loved round 11.
Yeah, we're getting closer to that round 11, and these teams have been trading blows back and forth. You see one big round come out from one squad, then next time it's another big round from the other squad. It's been phenomenal here so far to watch. And round number 9, one of these two teams is going to put themselves on match point, and Minnesota Floppr are going to have the bomb in hand. So they're going to be potentially looking to make their play over towards the A side. It looks like they know that Keg's going to be here posted up on the heady. They know that somebody else is probably there for support. And I mean, we're seeing just our standard setup here from the side of Seattle Sloths. Frosty potentially looking to help get this bomb planted from Zoe's side. I think he's got the smoke in hand, so he is going to smoke off the P2 side. That's going to allow Zoe to push up onto the bomb. Nades coming through. Might hit, might not have hit. The nade is going to connect from Noble with the frag grenade. KP watching the deep pinch over here from Chernobyl. Chernobyl going to get absolutely gunned. Frosty is weak as well, playing underneath the statue side. Kills come through. Pinch from Banish is good. One kill comes down. 1v2 for Banish here. He is going to wait for the regions to come through from these two players. Going to get some good timing onto Frosty. Able to get that kill. Not sure where the last player has ran off to with 15 seconds left here on the clock. He's pretty much got to go for the chow. KP is going to get the info and going to wait for the defuse to come through. Defuse not going to happen. So great plays from KP there to play his life. Good intel from underneath, and Banish with a really solid effort on that pinch to try to help his squad get to that map point. But it is going to be Floppr that take round 9 and put themselves onto map point and match point.
Yeah, I mean, this is do or die for the Seattle Sloths here on an offense. We've seen them rain through a lot. They've favored B for it seems like almost every single round. I think they've gone A once. They're going to try their hand at A once again. Minnesota Floppr looking for one more round here. Stun's going to come through towards that top. Stun's going to get a little aggressive. They are making this A stack. They have read this perfectly. Seattle Sloths are going to have to back off and play something else here. The side of Minnesota Floppr, you gotta just play passive. You have a lot of map presence as well too. You've pushed them all the way back. You can get up into P1. You can take some more aggressive angles. So Seattle Sloths are gonna have to win some just insane gunfights to get this one done. You've kind of wasted a majority of your time here as well. KP gonna be the lone defender at B. He's gonna spot one. Gonna start the callers reinforcements. Fight towards middle. Keg is going to fall to extent. This is going to be a 3v4 for the side of Seattle if they want to stay alive.
Yeah, and they almost got the kill onto KP there, but able to back up with his life. Accent on the deep pinch is going to get into this fight boat with Chernobyl. Chernobyl is going to get taken out. Player falls in the back as well. It's going to be left up to Noble here in the 1v2. He's going to be taken down to 59 HP. Going to slide out with his life towards the middle. He does have the bomb, so he could go for the immediate plant, but he is going to make the rotation. Not going to get the intel on these two players that they went whole, or maybe he saw something. Going to get one player in the back.
No,
Shots into Frosty. But
it.
Frosty gets the win, and that's going to allow the Minnesota Floppr to take this series in a 6-4 fashion on map number 7.
Man, that just comes down as close as it can get. Not around 11, but close there.